Hey guys, welcome to the very first episode of Recreate. Today I'm going to show you how to make Baldi out of Polymer Clay. I am going to do a whole series out of the Baldi games. I'm going to do a bunch of characters with Polymer Clay, so stay tuned for that. Hit the subscribe button and become a creator. On to the tutorial. Okay guys, so I started off with the little metal skeleton. If you guys want to see a tutorial on how to make this little metal skeleton, let me know in the comments down below, and in the next video I'll make sure to add that in. For now, I'm going to show you how I made Baldi. So I got this color from making regular green. You guys can see in the background the dark green to the right. I mixed that color with white, and I came up with this lighter tone green. It matches what I see on the game, so I just went with it. The shape from the torso isn't really a cylinder. If you guys look at the game, if you guys see, Baldi is not really a torso, and he's not flat either. He's not torso, I'm sorry, he's not a cylinder and he's not flat either. So I put both shapes together and I came up with this shape. It looks legit. It looks like the actual body shape, well, at least I thought so. You never really see the back of Baldi, so I don't know what the back looks like. It could be round, but you never see the back. But from the look of the game, it looks like he's actually not a cylinder. He's more of a flat shape, cube, or rectangle, I should say. So this is the back side of the character. Just smoothing it out. You guys never really see the back side, so I just smoothed it out complete. My original intentions for Baldi were to make it exactly the same as it is in the game. I was trying to make it exactly the same, but my creative process kicked in, so I just started adding a little bit more detail to it. I'm going to show you two different ways of how to add the arms and the legs. One way is to spread it out like a little worm, make a little worm as long as you want it, as skinny as you want it, roll it up, and then cut it the size that you want it. And then you could either split it down the middle like I'm doing here, which takes time because you have to split it right down the middle. I find this method annoying. I don't really like this method because regardless, you still have to shape it into cylinder shape afterwards. So the best way to do it is just put the clay on top of the metal skeleton, and it works a lot better that way because regardless, you still have to shape it into the shape you want, so it doesn't really matter. I prefer the other way, which I'm going to show you in a little bit. Once I do the second arm, you guys will see the other method. So here I'm just, at this point right here is when I decided to go the route of putting more, making it more realistic, if you would. I kind of wanted to go I like to add realism to cartoons. Why? I don't know, that's just me. That's just the way I like to do things. I've always liked that look, I guess. That's my artistic opinion to it. Everybody has their own opinion. You could make it look exactly the way you guys want to make it. That's the whole point of art, is making it yours, making it the way you want. You could take an existing character and turn it into whatever you wish to turn it into. And that's art. It could look exactly the same. It could look a whole lot different. It could be some things different, but I decided to go the route of giving it more of a realistic look to it. You guys will see in the hands, and later on I'm gonna add, as you guys can tell right here, I start adding a lot more texture to it. So I wanted to make it look like it had wrinkles on the sweater. So here's the other method of how to make so you just basically slap on the clay to the metal thing, just fill it all the way up to where you want it, cut the piece, and then shape it. And then I like this method out better because it's a lot quicker, and regardless, you still have to shape it the way you want to, even though you first shape it and then you put it on there and then you have to reshape it. So that's kind of like a waste of time for me. So I don't like that method. I like that better, just slap it on the skeleton and slap the clay onto the skeleton, and that's it. So I wanted to put a lot of wrinkles, make it more realistic look to the sweater and to the pants. You guys are gonna see later on I put the stitchings on the side of the pants, put some wrinkles on the side of the pants, and I put some, here I am putting some wrinkles on the sweater. Just a little pattern. I could have gone a lot deeper with it, but I chose not to. I could have made it really realistic and forget about the whole way that it looks, but I didn't want to go too far with it. I decided to just, you know, subtle little marks here and there, making it look a little bit more realistic than what it does in the video game. Because in the video games it's just shapes, just a bunch of cylinder shapes. So cylinders or oval shapes and stuff like that, circles. So here's the pants. I'm using the method that I like. I just fill it all in. This method works a lot better also if you want texture, because the pants look a lot more real when you slap in the clay to the metal skeleton. Looks a lot more real this way. If you want to make just a cylinder shape, you can do that. Like I said, I prefer realism, so I'm just smoothing it on with the big skewer, with the wooden skewer, I should say. Here's the texture in the back of the leg, and then at the bottom, the creases at the bottom of the pants. You know, sometimes you get creases at the bottom of the pants. Here's me adding the other leg. Exact same method. I add the stitching at the end because once after I bake it, you guys will see the stitching. I'll show you a close-up of the stitching afterwards. I added that later with just with the X-Acto knife. I just stabbed into it and it leaves like a little white mark behind. That's the best method of doing stitching. Well, at least that's my opinion. And so here's the other pants. Here's the creases at the back. That's the creases at the back. And putting some texture in the pants, ripping off the pieces that I don't need. That's why I like this method, because you can just rip off the pieces that you don't need, smooth it out, or make it as skinny as you want, and just rip it off. Saves time, saves a lot of time, I think. Here's the other leg, putting more texture to the other leg. A little bit more detail, as you guys can tell. I like how it looks. It kind of looks like a real sweater, real pants. Well, as real as you could get with Polymer Clay. It's not the realest. It doesn't look like you can wear the pants, but you get what I'm saying. So here I'm working out the foot, one of the foots, or one of the shoes, I should say. Here's the other shoe. The shoes, I had made them the same size. For some reason, one looked a lot bigger than the other. So I had to add a lot more clay to it. You just flatten out the bottoms. So I took a lot more out of it because it looked a lot. For some reason, that foot looked a lot bigger, but then I saw it again, and then it was. It definitely was a lot bigger. So I had to add some more clay to this one, and that's what I did. I just added a bunch of clay, and then I stood it up to see. Cut those pieces off to make it look more like a foot or a shoe, I should say. And I added a little bit more to the front because I cut too much off, and shape it up to make them even, to make both shoes even. I added some shoelace, what kind of look like shoelaces. And as you guys can tell right here, the pant sleeve went a little too low, so I added more brown to it, cover it with to add it to the shoe, I guess you could say. I just added more of it, shaped the roundness to it to make it look more like a shoe. So if you guys want to see different characters, from Baldi, because I'm gonna make total of 4 characters. I'm gonna make Baldi, I'm gonna make the bully, I'll make Playtime, which is the little girl with the jump rope, and I think his name is First Prize. It's that little robot with the little heart in it. So I'm gonna make all those 4 characters, including Baldi. It's the 4th character. Here's me just adding a sole to the shoe to make it more realistic. Instead of just a flat shoe, it's just adding more realism to it as a sole. The shoes have soul. So anyways, yeah, so I'm gonna be doing those 4 characters, including Baldi would be 4 characters. So stay tuned for that if you guys want to see that. Make sure you guys hit the subscribe button. All my fans, I'm gonna be calling you guys the creators, because you guys are gonna help me create the next things. So I'm gonna read everyone's comment. I'm gonna reply to everyone's comment. So if you guys want to leave a comment as to what you guys want me to make next with Polymer Clay, or even with Sculpting, or I have gray clay and red clay. I will be sculpting with that too. Whatever you guys want, whatever character you guys think, the person or the people who vote the most, obviously are gonna get I'm gonna make that character that they choose. So let's take a vote, guys. Whoever wants whatever character you guys want to do, I'll do it. So make sure you guys leave your comments down below. As you guys can see, I've always been a hand guy. Well, you guys can't see that yet, but you guys will see it in a little bit. I've always been a hand guy. I don't know why. Like I see hands, and I see like beauty in hands, and I see really cool hands. Like I don't know. I've always liked drawing hands. I don't know. I'm weird like that. I'm just strange like that, I guess. This is me doing the fingers. That other little cylinder shape over there is. I've been saying cylinder a lot, but anyways. Here's me shaping the fingers. I have to shape the tips of the fingers because they kind of look like chopped off fingers right now. So I have to make the tips. This is the most hardest part of the whole build, is the hands. But like I said, I love building hands because I think you can tell a lot by a person with his hand. I switched the thumb over to the other hand. To the other side. The thumb was falling apart, so I just had to reshape it from the existing clay that's on the palm. So I had to do that. And the fingers aren't gonna look like this at the end. They're gonna be shaped all weird like this. But this is me adding more texture to it, more details, if you will, like just a lot more details into it. But yeah, you can tell a lot by a person's hand. We have soft hands, rough hands, big hands, small hands. You know, you could tell by a person's hands of how a person's gonna be. At least I could. I've always been a hand guy. I've always liked looking at hands. You guys are like weirdo, but yeah, it's just my artistic way of looking at art, I guess. It's a person's hand. Anyways, that's enough about my weird obsession. So yeah, here's me adding more detail to the back of the hand, and then there's me carving little nails to the tips of the fingers. Originally I was gonna paint it white, paint the fingernails white, but I figured that Baldi didn't have white fingernails, so I didn't want to I didn't want to go too far into it of adding details. I still wanted to look like Baldi, but I wanted to look like Baldi my way, you know. I wanted to have my artistic touch to it, yeah. So I did it the way I wanted to do it. This hand was a lot more complicated than the other hand. I don't know why this hand gave me so much trouble, but there's a lot that I cut off because I didn't want you guys to see all the mistakes that I had made. So I cut off a lot, or I edited a lot of pieces out because of that reason. So yeah, this is me trying to figure out the shape of it. And then on this hand, after I baked it, the middle finger and the ring finger fell off, so I had to glue it back on. And then I think it was the pinky that broke off afterwards, so I had to rebuild that pinky all over again, which pretty much sucked. Because you know, this is a tiny little finger, like it's hard to do it. But anyways, I enjoy doing it. I get a kick out of doing this type of stuff. So yeah, so this is me adding the creases to the fingers, where the fingers bend. A little more detail at the inside of the hand. This is me adding some clay to it, smoothing it out, making sure there's no cracks. That's what I'm doing. That's all done. It's a little rough looking, but I could, I do cut some of the pieces off at the end. Once it's baked, it's a lot easier to cut some pieces off. And once I put the hands on, I was like, man, these hands are huge. They look like some weirdo with big old hands. So I trimmed it down a little bit. I trimmed the hands down a little bit. If you guys see the game, he does have pretty big hands and long fingers. Just the palms aren't that big. So I just made the palms a little bit bigger so he could hold the ruler a lot better. But this is me adding more texture to the sweater. You know how the ends of your sweater have elastic on it? So that's what I wanted to add to the sweater. So I'm gonna pull off the hands and just add the texture to it, to the sweater, make it look a little bit more realistic. Usually I plan something. Like I say, I'm gonna sculpt a Ninja Turtle or whatever it is. It doesn't matter what character it is. Usually within a few minutes of sculpting, I go a different direction. Like I say, I'm gonna make this Ninja Turtle look like a cartoon Ninja Turtle, and then I end up making it look realistic. I end up saying I'm gonna make Leonardo, but I end up making Donatello or Raphael or whatever. That usually happens with me. Most of the time, you guys will see that throughout the duration of my channel. If you guys subscribe and stay tuned, you guys will see that I change my mind pretty often when I'm sculpting, like towards the direction that I want to go. I usually start somewhere and I go the other direction. Not all the time. I'm not gonna say every single time, but I do that often. The head shape, I saw that it was too small at the top. I noticed that his is more of a balloon shaped head, so I added a little bit more clay to the top. Smoothing it all out, make it look like an alien head. I guess he had like an alien shaped head. This is me adding the nose. The nose is shaped as a teardrop. I saw that the nose was too big, so I kept taking some of the polymer clay out until the shape I wanted. This is still pretty big, but I do cut off some of it after I bake it, and I make it a little smaller. The eye sockets have to be a little bit bigger, so I stretch them out a little bit more. Then I add the white to the eyeballs. I don't know why the white always sticks to my fingers a lot. As you guys can tell, my finger, my index finger has white. I don't know why it does that. I have no idea, but it always does that. The white and the red. All the other colors are like fine, but I don't know why those two. Just weird. Anyways, so here are the pupils. The right eye, as you can tell, is a little bit bigger. I didn't realize it until afterwards, until I actually saw me editing the video. I saw that the right eye is a little bit bigger than the left, which is fine. A lot of people's eyes are like that. One eye is a little bit larger than the other eye. I know a lot of people with one eye larger than the other eye. normal thing. Don't feel different. Anyways, here's me adding the eyebrows. The eyebrows, hated doing the eyebrows because they kept falling apart. They kept coming off. They kept sticking to my fingers. They didn't want to stick to the actual clay, to the actual face. It just kept coming off, coming off, coming off. So that was pretty hard. And then I had to do the little hair sticking up. I had to find a way to do it, so I just stuck it to the top, made it curve a little bit. That original piece of hair ended up falling off, so I had to do it over again. After I baked it, it came off. So I drilled a little hole on top of it, and I put a thinner piece of metal, and I stuck it in there, and I glued it on there. So that's what you see at the end. That's the piece that you see at the end. This is the mouth. The mouth I screwed up on too. I made it too big. At first I thought, because at this point I'm not looking at the reference, which you should be doing at all times, guys. Looking at references. If you guys are copying a character, make sure you guys look at references. Make sure you guys are looking at the picture while doing the sculpting. So I put it on and I thought it was fine at first. And then I looked at it, it kind of looked like a creepy doll. So I didn't want to do it. This is me adding texture to the mouth piece, putting little lines on the mouth, on the lips. Well, anyways, I took the lips off and I made the mouth a lot shorter because it looked kind of funky like this. So I made the mouth a little shorter. As you guys can see at the end, the mouth is a lot shorter than what you see it here. As you guys can tell, the eyebrows keep giving me issues. How many of you girls out there know the struggle? The eyebrow thing. So see, as you guys can tell, the hair kept giving me trouble. The eyebrows kept giving me trouble. I think I pulled one of the eyebrows out and I reshaped the eyebrow because it kept coming out. Anyways, me reshaping the mouth. I mean the neck. Trying to smooth out the head, the top of the head to the neck, adding a little bit more creases to the sweater, making sure that you guys can see that little gap between the arm and the shoulder. That's how it is in the game. And now I'm gonna do the ruler, the infamous ruler, the infamous ruler. I don't know why I did it like this. I could have just got it long. I thought this was long enough, but then I looked at it and I was like, no, it's not long enough. So I kept adding the yellow to the end. I just kept, straightening it out all the way through, flatten it so it could be equally flattened on all sides. And so I cut off the edges, and then I did this little measuring thing where try to do the inches and the centimeters or whatever you want to call it, and I dug them into the ruler itself. That way at the end, there's a little method I do where the paint, just smear paint on them, and then the paint goes into the gap. You guys will see it in a little bit. I'll show you guys right now. Yeah, there's a ruler, just shaping it out a little bit better. To make sure it fits his arms. Here I'm gonna shape his fingers, make sure it goes around the ruler right. That way his fingers stay that way and it can grip the ruler itself. So when I put it in the oven, it'll just stay that way. This is me putting it straight because the ruler kept bending because it's not hard yet because it hasn't been in the oven. I'm just using that stick as a reference to make the hand straight, because the ruler is going to be straight once it's cooked. So into the oven this guy is going to go for 25 minutes. I think it's 230 degrees Fahrenheit. Celsius, I don't know. I'll look it up. I'll let you guys know. So here's a method. So once it's out of the oven, it's nice and hard. I could add black paint into the creases, and then I wipe off the excess or the top part of the paint, and I just wipe it off, and then the creases are the only pieces that stay black. So then I wipe it off. There we go. It looks like a legit ruler. So now you can see it. I like it this way because it looks like it's been used. You know, it's an old ruler. I like that look, so I just kept it that way. I didn't wipe anymore off. So now the hands are nice and hard, and they're in the position that I want them. The ruler fits perfectly fine within the fingers. And now I have to glue the ruler to the hand. I left the right hand loose. I didn't glue the right hand to the actual arm because I wanted it to be able to swing. But I do glue the left hand to the arm because I wanted to keep it steady. I didn't want the left hand to move or to fall out and break or anything like that. So I just left it like that. So I glued it. So I wanted it to move. Sweater, the pants. So here are the little stitching on the side of the pants. So you guys can see a little stitching, a little white dots. So we were talking about earlier. So there you go, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. That's Baldi.
Oh, hi. Welcome to my schoolhouse. Now it's time for everybody's favorite subject, math. Answer the 3 questions correctly, then you might get something special. Welcome to Baldi's Basics in Education and Learning. That's me.
That's gonna wrap it up, guys. I hope you enjoyed the tutorial how to make Baldi with polymer clay. If you enjoyed it, make sure you guys hit the thumbs up. If you're new to the channel, make sure you guys subscribe to become a creator. That's right, as soon as you hit that subscribe button, you become a creator of the channel. So make sure you guys do that. Thank you guys so much for watching. Subscribe, because if you guys do, you guys will see us in the next one. Peace.